these kids, they're on the show now, right?
She'll go to her dad. She'll be
the entire Kardashian family. They're doing the Hulu show again, the Kardashians or whatever. They got a new season out, and so the kids are on the show. The kids are grown, like the Northwest and the stars and the Fantasias of the Kardashian family. They're all grown up now. They're 10, 12, however many years old, and they're on the show because guess what? They want their money too. They want to start making money just like mommy and daddy. And so the kids are there. What we have now discovered due to clips and everything else, the kids are there to keep these Kardashian women humble. Here's a clip. Let's take a look. It's quite interesting what's going on.
In the North, she'll go to her dad. She'll be like, Dad is the best. He has it all figured out. He doesn't have a nanny. He doesn't have a chef. He doesn't have security. He lives in an apartment. And she'll start crying, why don't you have an apartment? I can't believe we don't have an apartment.
Kanye West is living a simple divorced dad's life with an apartment. I mean, this is typical. This is typical, people. This is exactly what my father did. As soon as Jeff and Sandy told us they were getting a divorce, and then like we would get through Christmas that year and then through New Year's, and then come January 1st, the house was sold, and then we all went our separate ways. That's exactly what Jeff did. Jeff had an apartment that couldn't have cost him more than $400 or $500 a month. He had a futon mattress, no frame, just a mattress in one room with a TV on the floor, and I think a VCR attached to it. No, he might have had it on like a corner bookshelf type of thing. It might have been on a small shelf. I'm not sure about the TV on the shelf or on the floor, but all I know is it had a VHS tape, and the only VHS tape Sandy let him keep, because Sandy was keeping those Disney movies because one day they were going to be worth something, just like the Beanie Babies, okay? Except someone must have forgot because we sold them at a yard sale for like $1. So thanks for that. But you know what I mean? Sandy definitely kept all of the VHSs except for Casper Meets Wendy. You know what I mean? So every time we were at my dad's house, which was like every other day until they got the whole court custody thing figured the fuck out, because it wasn't just a quick overnight process like it is in 2023, back in 2000, I think maybe. I don't know, something like that. 2001, 2002, I don't know. And so you know what I mean? Dad's apartment was basically that. We didn't have a chef. We didn't have a nanny. We didn't have anything. It was just, we had a futon mattress, a TV with a VHS tape, and that was it. There wasn't really any other furniture or anything because mom pretty much took everything in the divorce. And so he took us out a lot. You know what I mean? We went to like the movies a lot. And we went out to dinner and we went to McDonald's a lot and just did stuff outside the house a lot because his apartment was kind of boring and depressing because he didn't have money for furniture. Something, I don't know. I'm not sure. No one ever really told us the story, but I'm pretty sure that's how it happened. But can you believe it? Can you believe it? We don't have an apartment. These Kardashian children are so established in this lifestyle that they are begging for an ounce of normalcy, where to the point now that the almost teenage daughter of Kim Kardashian and Kanye West are literally begging to go to her father's house, who has decided to live a semi-normal life while he figures some shit out, and not have a chef and a butler waiting on him hand and foot, and security guards and cameras and a gate and a lock and a code and this and that. The child is literally crying because they are under so much pressure and just watched and filmed and expected to do whatever it is that Kim and the rest of the adult family tells them to do, because if they mess up this contract with Hulu and Disney and whoever else owns the damn company now, I think Disney just bought the rest of Hulu for like $10 billion. It's fine. They're going to take over the world one day, either them or Apple. We just got to figure out who decides to, pull the trigger first. And so now We've got things happening like a billionaire child just begging to go to her now single, recently remarried father's apartment because it's just a 1% of normalcy from her typical life under scrutiny, paparazzi, flashes, TMZ, interviews, VIP meet and greets, this meeting, that meeting, this video, that photo shoot, everything that Kim Kardashian puts those children through. Which, I mean, she might as well. It's a tax write-off. Everything she's going to pay them. She's going to funnel all the money through the kids because it's free and tax. You know what I mean? It makes sense. So she's got to do it. It's business, babe. But like, holy shit, we've got the millionaire children just crying at the fact that there's no chef. I mean, talk about freedom, because they can watch whatever they want on the TV and they don't have to worry about the security guard standing right outside the door every time they want to piss. Like, it's literally insane how, deluded the minds of the West and Kardashian children are. That this is, and it's good. Good for them. Hey, you know what? Is it in the mail? Father of the Year award for Kanye? Good for him. Good for him. Because it seems like Adidas is doing pretty well now that they're selling off the rest of the Yeezys, and that relationship's probably going to get mended because Adidas realizes they need that extra $3 billion a year in revenue, okay? Some of my numbers in this episode might be off, but they're pretty freaking close, right? And so, once he figures some things out and we realize that we shouldn't probably say certain things, especially with what's now going on over in those countries, let's maybe keep all of those opinions to ourselves, Mr. West. And now that he's finally kind of got that under wrap, we might be coming back. We might have new music. We might be a little uncanceled, but good for him for, maybe cooking his own meals or like having the wife do it now for the kids. Like, obviously it's a good time, to the point where Northwest is in tears, crying to her mother, wondering why, with all this money and this huge mansion we have, why we don't have a simple little stress-free apartment. And that's going to be the downfall of our society. That's our next president, President Northwest. Like, you know what I mean? It's got a ring to it. I don't see why not. As soon as they drop the age limit, like, eventually we're going to allow like AI and shit to run for president. So they're going to drop the age limit and the fact that you have to be sentient at all. And then boom, bam, that's just going to give the Kardashians or whoever else their opportunity, maybe The Rock, maybe Oprah, to move in, be president. And then it's just going to be whoever has the most followers on Instagram is going to run the country. And if it fluctuates, we'll reevaluate every year instead of every 4, maybe. So it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy where we're at, where we're going, and how fun of a ride it's been, and how we ended up here, because I don't think anyone knows. I don't think anyone was paying attention, and now poof, bam, here we are. And we've got Northwest questioning what her mother even does on a daily basis, eating an onion like an apple. And if that isn't just red flag number 2, crying over the apartment, red flag number 1, that eating the onion raw, weird, red flag number 2, maybe it's time to get the kids off the cameras. Maybe let them have a little bit of a normal life, like living in an apartment. You know what I mean? Because if we all didn't grow up in a undersized 1-bedroom apartment for some form of our childhood lives, like, what do we do? You know what I mean? It was me and my dad and my sister in a 1-bedroom apartment. Then we moved to like a 2 or 3 bedroom condo, but it was still kind of like an apartment size type thing. It was only it was 1 floor. It's theoretically an apartment. And so that was that. And like, you know what I mean? Mom kind of sort of had a half house condo apartment thing. That was that. My son grew up in our 1-bedroom apartment, slept in our bedroom with Megs and I for the first 1.5 to 2 years of his life until we moved here. You know what I mean? Like, it's everyone's been there. Everyone's had that shitty 1 to 2 to 3 bedroom apartment that we've had to make some upgrades to. Some were legal, some weren't. Some we just kind of dealt with. And it's just like we all had that upcoming. And if you don't, that's how you end up on national television eating a raw onion like an apple.